Fires can start anywhere. If you do have a fire in your building or on your premises or in one of your vans or trucks with your branding all over it, then it can have a reputational consequence on your business. We're protecting assets and we're protecting people, but we are protecting the reputation of your business.
We've seen over a number of decades some very high-profile fires that if they've not killed, they've certainly maimed, and they have devastated businesses.
Our core pillar for Fireward is automatic fire suppression systems, and by definition what they are is our systems that sit in a ready state to detect a fire and put out that fire in the protected area.
The fantastic thing about them, the beauty of our systems, is that they are on all of the time and without any need for any power. So it's a 24/7 safe pair of hands for anybody that's got a system fitted to an asset. And some of these assets cost considerably, hundreds of thousands of pounds and probably more.
Fire safety is extremely important. I think that one of the things around fire safety is people think fire isn't going to happen to them. It's put to the back of the importance pile in a lot of occasions. Years and years and years ago there was a fire, small houses, not a huge risk. Now you've got places like the Burj Khalifa and the Shard in London, and nowadays fire is a bigger risk. One small fire can lead to a lot more catastrophic incident.
Fireward systems are extremely effective for a couple of reasons. One of the biggest reasons fire suppression systems fail to work is they actually fail to actuate, and actuate means basically set off and discharge their contents. So one of the design criteria for our main approved system was the most reliable system on the market. And what I mean by that is no matter what the conditions, no matter if there's no electrical power, imagine sort of the worst machine working in the worst environment, that system detects a fire and delivers the extinguishing agent into the engine bay, regardless of what's going on. So reliability is a massive part of the core foundation. One of the things we talked about internally was making the Ford of the fire suppression world. A product that was extremely reliable, well built, but it was accessible to absolutely everyone.
For my business, having Fireward fire suppression systems on my machines means everything. It gives me peace of mind. I trust them emphatically in what they do, and I know that whenever they put a system on the machine, that it is going to work. Customers that I sell to are spending upwards of £500,000–600,000 on machines, new machinery from me, and I think it's the least that I can do is to put fire suppression just to protect that machine. I would rather have the Fireward fire suppression on my machines because I'd rather have the prevention of the fire in the first place rather than the fire taken off and our reputation taking a hammering. It's much better to prevent the fire from happening in the first place rather than reacting to the fire when it does.
In terms of the solution space, the fantastic thing about our products is they're scalable across a number of different applications, particularly mobile and static plant machines. But it's more than that. We also install a number of fixed asset applications, process control panels being one, small kitchenettes being another, cooker hooding applications to reduce the impacts of chip pan fires, for instance. So we've got scalable solutions for a number of different sectors that operate machinery out in the big bad world.
Reacton Fire Suppression is the designer and manufacturer of the fire suppression systems that Fireward fits in the UK. Reacton also distributes these products worldwide to other distributors. The nice thing about the Reacton and Fireward relationship in the UK and having both companies together here means that we have a complete R&D cycle. So the products are designed, they're certified, we then go out and fit the products, we service them and we support customers, and what it allows is the whole team to have an input on the product's development and, you know, obviously the longevity of the products. As the products go on in the field, we're able to make small adjustments or improvements to the product if the teams in the field see fit that it needs to happen. We test our systems to the most vigorous standards, whether that's a system for vehicles, whether that's a standard for electrical control panels, or buses and coaches. So because of the broad range that Fireward offers, which is ultimately manufactured by Reacton, we make sure that we have the best system for putting out fires.
The fire industry has typically been quite slow at bringing the education to people. Information is inherently complex. There's many standards and approvals and references which make it quite hard for people to understand. Standards are very, very important. Without standards, there's no actual benchmark to gauge the performance of a system. There's a set of requirements and we need to know that it meets or exceeds those. The standards are used by a lot of different bodies such as trade associations, insurance companies, research institutes, or even testing laboratories where they will push these forward and say you need to be meeting or exceeding this for us to be happy that that product is at a certain level. What Fireward and Reacton are doing very heavily is working quite deep with these trade associations, and the standards and the references can be quite complex. We create these guidance documents that compile all this information into a nice, concise way and make it readily available for the whole industry. So they can learn very quickly and make sure that they understand the subject and be able to pick the system that they believe is the correct one.
Certification for Reacton fire suppression is one of its very core values. So what we do is we focus on the best international standards for our systems. If you take our vehicle systems, we were the first global manufacturer to be approved to PMark 199. PMark 199 is a global standard for the certification of fire suppression systems used in engine bays. We were the world's first to be certified to that standard. And the nice thing about that standard, which we really enjoy working with that certification, is the fact that it allows systems to be benchmarked from A+ to E. And all of our systems at Reacton that Fireward fit are all A+ systems.
We want to see our systems making a difference. And we saw it in the waste industry in the UK, and we know we can see it throughout the other industries. Our other office is in Dubai, and that's really where we're concentrating our next expansion. They're really focusing on fire safety at the moment. Obviously, no one likes anything bad going around social media. That's why fire safety has really been put on high up on the agenda. We've got very high safety standards in the UK, so we're very fortunate to be able to bring those safety standards across the world.